Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back again, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters and future communicators. Communication certainly is a tool that will help all of us to grow better in every aspect of life. We have today a keynote speaker, Toastmaster Ronald joining from Norway. He's a wonderful Toastmaster I know for a couple of years now. Though we connected from Facebook, we also been connecting regularly. And he also participated in one of the previous Speechcraft, and he loved it. And then he is again here as a participant and also as a keynote speaker today. He's going to talk about Yoodli. He's an active Toastmaster in Norway and has been helping several clubs there. He's also been a district officer before. Okay. He's an ambassador from Yoodli program, and today he wants to show us what are the aspects are the features of Yoodli that we can utilize and help us to grow as a communicator, as a speaker. Toastmaster Ronald Kremers, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Raghu, for this very nice introduction. For people who have met me, my name is Ronald Kremers, live in the Netherlands. I have been a SAP consultant working in ICT for 25 years and in Toastmasters for 6 years. Well, the hardest part that I thought about being a sub-consultant is to give presentations and to job interviews. So that was the reason that I joined Toastmasters 6 years ago. And of course, we had the pandemic and the lockdowns, and everyone went on Zoom. And then we had to present online, which was a whole different challenge. I've seen people who were very comfortable on stage, and then when they went on Zoom, suddenly they didn't know how to connect to their audience. But there is a tool where you can learn these things at home. Of course, we can go to Toastmasters clubs and be on stage, and Yoodli can help us in different ways. Let me share you my screen. Every week, I'm an ambassador of Yoodli. I also take part in Yoodli, and every week I get an update on my online presence and how I did. And I get some analytics. There are different ways you can approach Yoodli. It's now part of Toastmasters. There's a version that's called toastmasters.yoodli.ai. You can find it on the site. You can also find it directly. And here you'll find the other public version that's called app.yoodli.ai. And that has a little more advanced features than the Toastmasters version. Here you can see, let me ask you a question. Can you put in the chat if you ever used Yoodli, or are you completely new? Mm-hmm. Have a look.
Ronald?
Yeah. We have a mix. Okay. We have a mix. Is it still visible?
Yeah, visual.
Yeah. Okay. Here you can see my dashboard. How have I been doing on filler words, on my pacing? I tended to talk a little slow, and with Yoodli, I learned that it's better for me to try and talk faster. You can also review your speech in a in a higher speed to see how it sounds. This is about talk time but there are different kind of recordings. If I look into my library, then you can see I use it a lot of time to practice my speech before I give it in Toastmasters or outside of Toastmasters. But there is also something called private Yoodli. You can activate Yoodli, and it's only recording your own voice and not the others. They don't even know that you are using it. And then it will analyze how you are speaking when you're on Zoom, giving a presentation or in a meeting with other people. So you can see that also the filler words may be different when you're in a meeting in Zoom with your colleagues than when preparing for a presentation. Let's go into one of the recordings. You can record, but you can also upload. If you had a speech in your club or and you had a recording of it, you can also upload it here. You can share it with other people so they can also give their comments on your speech. And if you don't like it, you can also delete it. So what would Yoodli typically look at? It would look at the content. It would give you some questions, so you can enhance your speech. This was a speech on being an area director for the last year. And he gives you some questions. How did you handle the situation with the club that did not approve it? My club visit report, and more questions. So you can enhance your speech and record it again. There's artificial intelligence involved, so he can listen. He can give the key points of your meeting, of your speech, and he will also give some tips on how you could set it more concise and better. We also give something, some tips like you have some habits that you are not even aware of. So you can start a lot of sentences with so or with and. And here, this system, of course, is very judgment-free and will tell you, exactly what he measured, how it is. Apart from the coaching, we also have the analytics. The analytics will look for filler words, like we have the R counters in a club meeting. But it goes a little bit further. If somebody tells you, you had 10 R's in your meeting, it doesn't mean so much. It gets meaning if you know, how many % of the words were fillers, or when did I use them, because you can also go back to the recording and then you can, okay, that was the moment where I used a filler word. You can see it has also a transcript. Everything you said, he tried to transcript. Apart from filler words, you can have sometimes you can have non-inclusive words like stupid and that you should not use because it can offend people. Weak words, see, words like so, very, just. And apart from the words, he is also analyzing your analytics. Like were you centered in when you are giving a Zoom meeting? Did you smile? Because smiles are very important. We relax and we connect with our audience when we smile. So never forget to smile. Pause is also very important in your speech. Give your audience some time to digest what you have been telling. And eye contact, of course. Yeah, we always have struggle with, am I looking in the camera? But I want to see my audience. Maybe that's on a different spot. And it will maybe look like you're reading from a paper. So about loudness and also about speed, he will also give you a very nice graph. It's like when also maybe some of you use running apps to measure your speed when you're jogging, and you will always know it's not one pace from the beginning to the end. And the same is with speaking, your loudness and also your speed will go up and down. So, herewith, I hope I give you a nice overview what Yoodli is capable of and how you might use it. There are other things you can explore, but apart from the speech library and the dashboard, there are also some games you can play. You can practice table topics. If you can practice also an interview. They have a very large database with questions for job interviews and sales pitches. But it's best to just to explore. It's still free. It will not remain free because Yoodli, of course, also at one point have to make money. So they will bring in a business model where you can still have a free version or a premium version that will require some payment. So for now, I will stop the sharing and let's move to the questions. Is anybody already knew this? Did you learn something new? Are there some things you would like to hear more about? Then please ask. Rayat, I see your hand.
Yes, Ronald, I have a question actually. So I've heard about Yoodli earlier, but I want to know, is there any charge for using this Yoodli, or is it free of cost?
At the moment, it is free to use, both the Toastmasters version, but then of course you need to be a member of Toastmasters. But the public version is free to use for everyone. I think it will change by the end of this year, next year, because Yoodli needs money to invest. Now it's only English. They also want to make it available for other countries, for other languages. And then they need to raise some money, so they will have then a light version, which is still free, and a premium version, which will be maybe $10 or $20 per month if you're a heavy or light user.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Rayat. Anyone else has a question? Then I have a question for you. Has anyone any experience with Yoodli, using it privately or in your club? Or
Not yet.
I
But
saw in the chat. Yeah.
I would like to see a live demonstration. So how about you show us in one of our meetings where we can get Yoodli into the meeting and then analyze it, our speeches or how we are doing on our reports, etc., so that it can analyze and show us where all we can improve.
Yes, I have not used it yet, but I have seen it. Some clubs in the Middle East, they are a little bit ahead with technology. They use Yoodli during their club meetings, and then you can do so by inviting Yoodli as a guest in your meeting, and you will see the Yoodli sign, and from there it will record everything. I think it can also recognize voices. So who said what? I know that they are using it, and of course you need consent. Not everybody would agree to have his speech or his table call recorded, and then you can take Yoodli to the breakout room and bring it back when it starts recording again. Does it answer your question, Raghu?
Yeah. We will take the consent and then we'll take your help and also removing the registration part, because I know because for the bot to join, we need to disable the registration for that specific meeting. I'll do that and get in contact with you. Thank you for the session. And anybody else who has any questions for Ronald? Okay, no problem. Thank you very much for the session. Wonderful session, Ronald.
You're welcome.
This is our token of appreciation for the time and the knowledge that you all shared today. Thank you very much. I'll share this over the email. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Stop recording.